it's just started to rain. That is incredibly fitting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ali. I don't even know how to start this video. A year ago today, I was on a plane to America, ready to see Ben Platt, the Jonas Brothers, Taylor Swift, work at summer camp, and not come home until mid-September. 2020 had other ideas, obviously. My reason for making this video is that I still get a lot of comments and DMs and messages saying I helped inspire you to go, or you wanted to go because of my videos, which is by far my favorite thing in the world to hear, like when I meet you or, you know, reading stuff online. But it also means that now I feel just like so heartbroken for all of you that I have spoken with about that. I'm just like devastated for you all. The second reason is because I still get comments asking for more camp videos, and it's kind of hard this year with things so uncertain and different and weird, obviously, but I figured, you know, we're all kind of in the same boat, so why not chat about it? So let's get into the video. Firstly, to anyone that was going for their first time this year, I'm so sorry that this has happened. Like, this is just obviously unprecedented and no one could have seen it coming. No one could have stopped it. If your camp has been cancelled, I'm so sorry. It's devastating. Hopefully you'll still be able to go next year if that's something that fits into your plans. It's such an incredible experience, and hopefully that comes around for you again. The one good thing, well, not good thing, but like the one thing that's making it a little bit easier is that everyone's kind of going through it together, and that kind of softens the blow a little bit. Misery loves company, you know. And then also for you returners that were meant to be going back to your camp this year, I feel you. It is so sad. Obviously camp is meaningful in a lot of ways. You know, we love it for a lot of reasons, but I think the people is what's going to be hardest now, like not seeing the people that we love so much and have waited 10 months to see. About a month ago, my camp sent out an email that was like a kind of yearbook video, all the kids and staff that wanted to participate, and seeing my campers and how much they have grown in 9 months at that point, oh my god, it was crazy. Like seeing one of my kids who was just the sweetest little angel and seeing her face, I wanted to cry at the thought of like not being able to hug them. There is no real right way to feel in this situation because it's so different to anything we could have anticipated. And the reason I'm talking about this is basically just to hopefully make you feel less alone if you've been going through this. And I know in the grand scheme of things, in this entire situation, this is such a small issue, but it is still a big deal, and you're allowed to be upset, you're allowed to be disappointed, you're allowed to miss people and mourn the experience that we thought we were going to have. I think all of that is perfectly valid, whilst also recognizing our privilege and that we have the ability to stay safe and, most importantly, keep our campers safe. If any of my campers are watching this, I love you guys, miss you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Speaking of processing this whole situation, I couldn't listen to country music for like a month, and that is very off-brand for me, and it's just because it reminded me too much of camp and summer, and I feel like I can't listen to country music in cold weather, if that makes sense. Like, it just has such a summery outdoor kind of vibe. But now I've been listening to it again the past few days, so I think that means I'm on a good path, and yeah, that feels good. If you would like to listen to my incredible country playlist, I will link it below. Anyway, if you are a returner, I would love to hear like which camp you're from and whether you're going back or not, and if not, how are you doing? And if this was going to be your first summer, again, like where were you going to go? Have you been placed somewhere else? What's your situation like and how are you feeling? So all that being said, I will now reply to some of the comments that I have not yet gotten to. Some of these questions I didn't reply to because they were a little bit controversial, I guess, and I was kind of worried about talking about them online, and some of them are just like things that I haven't yet gotten around to, so there's a whole mix of that. Stay till the end if you want the real tea, I guess. Okay, question one is, do they use single-use plastic at camp? And at my camp, actually no, which is awesome. We recently had these hydration stations installed that look like this. They're very beautiful, and so everyone just kind of fills up their hydro flask usually all day, every day. It reduces a lot of waste. I think the only single-use plastic would be from our canteen, but we have a great recycling system and we donate all of our leftover food to a food bank in town, so that's pretty cool. What happens when a counsellor is sick? Do they get a sick day like you would from a normal job? So not really, but it kind of depends on like how sick you are and what the situation is. And that's just something that you would speak to your group leader or, you know, head of girls camp, head of boys camp about. They're not gonna like force you to work if you're really sick or injured or anything like that. They will absolutely take care of you. And that is why we have co-counselors and, you know, a whole bunch of staff to take care of the kids. It's so that there's enough people for when things like this happen. The amount of counselors that are with the group changes changes every day, every period anyway. So like one day you might have all 10 counselors there because those specialties aren't running, and then some days you might have only the general counselors. So there's kind of enough padding that people can afford to be sick or be injured and take the time they need to recover. Okay, how do I avoid stacking on the weight at camp? Now, I have got this question in a few different forms, and I've always kind of avoided talking about it because I get a bit worried, I guess, talking about things in relation to like weight and food, because everyone's circumstance and journey is very different. And to be completely honest, a lot of people do gain weight at camp just because the food is so good and a lot of people aren't used to that kind of American food. I personally don't. I think in some cases I've lost weight, some cases I've stayed the same. That's because I was eating the vegan versions of food maybe, or I don't know. It's just the way things are. But I really want to stress that it's just not important. There are times in your life when you will lose weight, gain weight, fluctuate all across the board, and your self-worth cannot be hinged on that because it's going to change. It will fluctuate. You'll be so focused on having this incredible experience that you won't even think about it. No one else is thinking about it. No one else cares. And in my opinion, camp is just such a body positive environment to be a part of. You know, we're in the outdoors and doing all these different activities all day and having fun. You know, we're not wearing makeup and our hair is rarely brushed and we're running on like 5 hours sleep. So how you look is just not even really a thing. I think it's a really good place to form a healthy relationship with yourself and food and just kind of living in the moment and being happy. Would I feel left out as an American who didn't grow up at camp? I think personally, you're kind of the bridging between those two groups because you can kind of associate with both. You're like the international staff in that you didn't grow up there, but you can also relate to the Americans and everything they've experienced. So you're kind of like in the middle of that Venn diagram. Judging by my friends' experiences, I think you'd fit right in. When is the best time to book international flights? This completely depends on your own personal preferences and situations. I don't tend to book until about 7 to 6 weeks out. And I know for a lot of people that's like terrifying, but yeah, that's just what works for me. So often I'll book them in February or April to be leaving in May, but I've just found that's when it's the cheapest. That's when like really good deals are on. And it also just means that I know with enough time in advance what I'm planning around. So whether I have concert tickets there or I have an event I have to be at here or anything like that that I need to kind of plan around, yeah, I like to give myself around 6 to 7 weeks time. Do you think everyone is suited to work at camp? I actually talked about this in my last video, so I won't go too much on about it here, and I'll just link that one below. Short answer, no, but watch the other video to see why. Do games like Never Have I Ever get played at camp? So I get variations of this question quite a lot, and I never really acknowledge it because I don't know. Again, like every situation is so different. I would just say at camp, absolutely not. Like at camp, we're with the kids, we're focusing on the kids, we're working, that's kind of all we're doing. The difference would be what you do with your days off, nights out, spare time when it's just you and your friends. And you know, if you're in a group and you're hanging out somewhere, and that might be something that people want to play. But here's the thing, you are absolutely not obligated to play this game. Just like anything else, if you're not comfortable, you don't have to do it. Do you decide who you're gonna bunk with, or is it random? Obviously, I can only speak for my experience, but for us, the camp decides, and that I think is very specifically organized by the experience that each counselor has and the way they would work well. And I think a lot of planning would go into that. So for us, we find out when we arrive at camp which age group we're gonna have, and then also who our co-counselors will be, and then also which bunk we're living in and things like that. And usually I think they will try to have like 2 general counselors in a bunk and then 2 specialty counselors in a bunk, just so that that's kind of evenly spread out. It makes sense. And then also maybe a more experienced counselor and then a newer counselor to balance that out as well. So there would be so much planning that goes into this, and if any of you are like on staff, I'm sure you can confirm or deny that, but it would be pretty meticulously planned, I assume. They do all the hard work for us, we just rock up and decorate our bunk. Is there a lot of Jewish celebration at your camp? I'm not sure if I'd be comfortable with that kind of thing. Yes and no. Again, I can't really compare my camp to any others. We aren't a religious camp, but a lot of our campers are Jewish, but the only real faith-based practices at my camp are Friday night services, and that's again not even really that Jewish. It's just a time for all of camp to come together, all of boys camp, all of girls camp, and we present camper of the week. And we do have a rabbi who is my old camper who says a prayer and we join in, and it's a really nice experience. That's kind of what this is about. It's deemed a cultural exchange, you know? So I'm glad that we get that little bit of an insight. What is the average age of counselors? I don't want to be the oldest one. I would say the average age is maybe like 22, 23, 21. Early 20s. There are 18-year-olds who are mostly like the Americans coming up. And then there are also older Americans who are still there and older international staff that are like 27, 28, 30. I just skipped the number 29. Yikes. So it really doesn't matter. A lot of the time you don't even know how old someone is. I've got 18-year-old friends and 28-year-old friends. It's really like not a big deal at all. We're all just kind of there collectively as a big group. Do people get fired? Yeah. But only if you do something really stupid. It's really not something that any of you have to worry about. If you make smart decisions and you act professionally and don't take advantage of this amazing situation that we have, you'll be fine. At the end of the day, camp's priority always has to be safety, safety of the kids and also safety of other staff members. So if something happens and they do need to let someone go, they will. But yeah, you really don't need to worry about it. At the beginning of the session, your camp will give you a booklet or just explain the rules and how things work there. And if you follow that, you're fine. Top 5 must-haves in your suitcase. I've been thinking about this one for a while, and I think the number one thing I would say that I haven't mentioned before in my other packing video, which I'll link down below, is space. Leave space in your suitcase. Genius idea, I know. For me, one of the biggest joys is going like thrifting or op shopping on days off and after camp and things like that. And I just often don't have enough room and have to end up buying a second suitcase, which you can obviously do. But yeah, I just love collecting things from where I go around the world and finding cool pieces of clothing. And also your camp will often have like camp merchandise, whether that's part of your uniform or something that you guys as the staff design. Like I know we had a tennis tournament, we got a shirt for that. We had a soccer tournament, so I have shirts from that. We have division shirts, we have camp hoodies, we have rain jackets. So there's all of these things that you might end up wanting to buy. So leave a little bit of room in your suitcase so that you have the option. Any tips for getting through customs in the US? Yeah, this is a very valid question. I know it seems very intimidating and scary, and it kind of is. I'm wondering now how things might change, if they'll be even more intense. But my tips would be, firstly, just to have all of your paperwork and documents, have your passport and a photocopy of your passport. Same with any of the documents you need, like your visa, your insurance policy, your flight numbers, everything you could ever need. Have it all and have backups of all of it as well. And then just be confident. Even if the officer that you speak with is a little bit intimidating, they just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of like that sometimes. But you're not doing anything wrong, so they're gonna let you through. It will be fine, and it'll probably only take a few minutes. So yeah, just try not to stress. As hard as that is, it'll be okay. I have all these comments saying, I'm so nervous about whether camp will go ahead. I'm literally just binge watching your camp videos to pretend it will. I feel you. Okay, here are some things you can do if you're missing camp to make you feel like you're there, even though we're obviously not. Number 1, make friendship bracelets. Mine are still going strong, but I ordered some string online to make more. There are so many videos on YouTube I'm sure you can learn from. Number 2, tie-dye. So easy, so fun. Again, there's probably videos on YouTube and you probably already have bleach at home, so it's easier than you think. If you have a favorite camp food, try and recreate it. For me, I'm probably gonna make some cheesy bagels and mac and cheese and nuggets. I miss camp food so much. Obviously Zoom calls, I know it's not the same as being in person, but I do think, hearing your friends or co-counselors or campers laugh and seeing them smile, it does help. And start planning for next summer. Now you're just gonna have more money, more time to save, more time to plan. Silver linings. If you're a returner, wear your camp clothes, obviously, or your camp t-shirts. My watch tan is already fading, which is really sad to me. And I have to buy jeans for the first time in a really long time. So I'm just trying to be excited, trying to smile through the pain. Anyway, I don't really know what this video is, but I just felt like talking to all of you, and it's sad, but ultimately camp is about being healthy and happy, and if that means postponing for a year, it's not cancelled, it's just postponed, then that's the right choice. I fully respect every single camp that is making that decision. Like our good friends the Wildcats said, we're all in this together, so I'm sorry, I'll leave. Alright, well I'm gonna go and start editing this video so I can get it up for you guys, but thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!